Yeah.
We've been talking about medical qigong a lot, and
Yeah.
you and I have been talking about medical qigong, and you raised a really interesting question. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how medical qigong is a picture of the system that we're in with Grandmaster Lu.
Yeah, right. So, for us, medical Qigong is like one of the most important things we can learn from him. And I think that medical Qigong is, is something special within the framework of Chinese medicine practice. So, not everybody understands. This can be confusing, like what's medical, what's Qigong, and all of that. But, the medical part has to do with its healing practice. And Qigong is already mysterious, but Qigong means energy practice. So it's a kind of use of energy for healing purpose. I think that's the simplest way to put it. And so Master Lu says everything's energy, all energy has consciousness, all consciousness has a purpose. And he says it's possible as a practitioner to refine and amplify your energy, your internal energy, in such a way that you can give it to other people and transfer energy to other people, and that they can use that energy for their own healing purpose. So that energy transfer is like central to Chinese medicine, because if you do acupuncture, you're doing energy transfer. If you take herbs, the energy message inside the herbs is why you're taking them. It's all about energy. Chinese medicine is all about energy. So this medical Qigong is kind of like the purest way that we can connect to somebody else with a purpose, for healing purpose, using energy. And I think that's, one of the most remarkable things and amazing. I'm so grateful, really, to have had the opportunity to learn this from Master Lu. He tells us that the medical Qigong he's teaching us, particular medical Qigong he's teaching us, has never been taught before in the United States. So there are other systems, other people teach it, but the one we have in the system and lineage that he's part of has never been taught before. So I think that's so cool. That's so exciting. And coming from him, along with many other things we've learned from him that have to do with our own energy cultivation. So, hey, you're going to go and do some training right now. That's you're in it, or you've done it, or I don't know where you are, but
the third and very mysterious piece of this is our system actually calls this the Tao of Medical Qigong.
That's right.
And
that's right.
You described the medical part, creating conditions for healing.
Yeah.
You described the Qigong part, the bridge to energy using our bodies and movement. Yeah. And then the Tao part, well, that's the consciousness part. That's the part that I wouldn't even try to put into words, except that it is a very important part of the experience of that energy transfer.
Yeah.
Understanding that there's something bigger than us going on. There's a whole, even if, depending on where you are in your spiritual journey, depending how you see yourself as an energy being, that we're pulling in a lot of energy from all around us. We're connected, definitely connected to all of the energy all around us. And that means it goes up, up, up into every billions of galaxies and through time and space, and what endures, and the wisdom that pours through in that exchange. Yeah, can be very, very, it's just an astonishing experience. So then in that role, in that exchange, sometimes we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we know that we're doing it for good, and we know we're doing it for, enhancement and for love. So.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I think, again, we say that the root cause of people's conditions is an energetic issue. So we're basically, when we do medical Qigong, we're offering people an opportunity in themselves, because on some level they know this too, to address something going on in their life where there's some kind of blockage, something that there's an opening that they haven't quite passed through yet, that their body is signaling, because your body's telling you something by the condition. And by doing medical Qigong, by giving people energy this way, they're using their body, they will use it to address whatever internal energetic issue, let's say, needs to be addressed.
Right.
And that can lead to really profound outcomes. And I
So,
think
yeah.
when people have experienced this, they're often very surprised because, you know, dramatic things happen. You know, people with, you know, chronic, long-standing, you know, pains, shoulder pain, neck pain, for example, go away. And, you know, it's not just that it goes away, you know, aspirin makes it go away too, but it's temporary. You know, it really changes something that if they're paying attention, they'll see it reflected in many levels of their life.
Right.
Some huge change has happened, you know, and it's all very mysterious, but we know it's about energy because it's medical Qigong. It's so great.
I'm going to tell a very, very quick story, and maybe another thing we can do next week, Larry, is tell share some of our client experiences.
Yeah.
Because I hear all the things you're saying, but unless I've seen it or experienced it, I can't really understand what it means. So I'll tell you a really quick story about somebody who I've been working with for just 4 weeks. And she came because she has chronic pain in her body, and especially through her hips. She has hypermobility. So her joints are actually overly, they don't have kind of a natural stopping point like ours do. Her joints flex so far that her muscles are really working hard, and she's got a ton of pain through all of her joints, especially in her lower body. So we've been working with the Tao of Medical Qigong practice, and she's also been taking herbs to help be another bridge. So all of these things that you're describing are like the bridges that we use to cross over to that place where natural healing can happen, where that flow of energy can come in and go to work in our bodies. So for her, she comes in with this pain. She comes in full of a lot of doubts and fear and her whole story. And in the third week of our work together, she took one of her children to a local rock concert, and she spent all night up and dancing with her child at this concert. And she said, it crossed my mind at one point, like, if I do this, I'm going to be wrecked for the rest of the week. Like, I know I won't be able to walk. I'm going to be in so much pain. This is exactly the kind of activity that sets off all of my pain. And she was like, but I don't care, because I'm here with my child and this music is amazing. And there's so much joy in this room. And I'm just going to move and let it go. And she danced for hours and hours and hours. And she woke up the next day and she had some pain, but it wasn't the massive wipeout that she always experienced after a day like this. And she was like, I wonder what's going on. And as she was doing her Qigong practice and the movements that we give people to do when they're doing medical Qigong with us, she came to the realization, something came into her mind, and it was hip, hip, hooray. So she connected all of this pain in her body to a sudden like flipping over to joy and an experience of joy, and hip, hip, hooray in her hips. Exactly. And she wept in this moment, and she had this big, it was such and she came in absolutely beaming and like, you know, couldn't wait to tell this whole story. And her, you know, she believes that this is it. This is like the tipping point for this lifelong condition, this whole experience. So.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's right. It's so amazing. We're so happy when we see this, because we know it's possible. Actually, we don't know what's possible. We know something's possible that might be beyond what we can imagine. And so we just offer that and know that that can happen. Things like this can happen, and they do. And, you know, so wow, that's such a beautiful, powerful story. You know, Jenny, I know we're just about to stop. I want to add one thing because, you know, not sure who's listening. One of the things that was happening early on in my work, you know, I'm a psychologist, so I've worked in medical environments. I just want to say, like, sometimes people are put off by the medical term, Tao of Medical Qigong. Like, this isn't medicine in the way Western medicine we think about. We're not dealing with any illness. We're always dealing with the potential to help people get more in balance, and that balance is the ground from which health appears. So we're really about promoting health and helping people do what's natural to them, which is to reclaim their health. And in that way, I've learned to become okay with calling myself a Tao of Medical Qigong practitioner, even though I'm not practicing medicine. This has nothing to do with medicine. It has to do with promoting health and helping people discover what they can do for themselves. That's so important. And everybody can do it one way or another. In this system, we know people can heal themselves. That's just so beautiful. What a gift.
Thank you. That was perfectly put. And on that note, we have to end.
We're going to.
All right. Thanks,
you.
everybody.
See you.
Talk to you
Peace.
soon. Okay.